Fresh from the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo, we are comparing the new for 2022 model of the Seamaster 300M Diver from Omega. The center one here, hard to tell, but it's green, and we'll compare it to the other two, the black and the blue, coming up. I'm Michael with SwissWatchExpo, and we are looking at the brand new for 2022. Penny's calling it pine green or hunter green, but it's a beautiful dark green color that's available for the first time for the Omega Seamaster 300M Diver. Now, these watches, we've reviewed them before, but I can tell you this is probably the greatest dive watch ever made. I can't think of, well, one thing that I would like them to improve on, but there is only one thing. But the watch is a phenomenal home run as far as I'm concerned. When you look at this watch and you see how great it sits on the wrist, I'll open it up here a little bit and put it on my wrist, which is average to a little smaller than average, but you can see it just sits perfectly. It's a 42 millimeter case, which is a little bit deceiving just because the way the lugs are shaped, it really sits nicely. And I think that it'll work for even small wrists, big wrists. It's kind of that perfect size in the middle that's going to be good for just about anyone. But when you look at the aesthetics of the watch, it does have these Omega signature turned lyre-shaped lugs with the high polish on top and the brushed on the sides. Really nice combination there, brushed and polished. The thickness is not overwhelming like it can be with, say, a deep sea or a sea dweller. It's really proportionate for the watch. The crystal is, of course, a sapphire, and it is AR coated front and back. And when we look at the bezel on this watch, it's got just the right amount of sort of scalloping on the edges that you can turn it. Now, it is hard to turn. It is a very, let's call it a deeply satisfying feel when you turn it, because it has a very exact clicking, and it always perfectly lines up the pip with the 12. So it's probably the best made bezel that I've seen out there. It's very easy to read because the numbers are in white, and of course it's a ceramic bezel, so it's not going to fade or scratch very easily, that sort of thing. When we go a little deeper in the watch, the dial maintains the Omega Seamaster wave motif, and the dial itself is made of ceramic as well. So it's a very crisp, very dark black color on this black one. The waves are laser cut, so they're very precise and just perfect execution. I love the touch of red, the word Seamaster. The lume plots are huge, and they're applied to the surface of the dial. The skeletonized hands are kind of the only thing that I wish that they would improve on. I don't really love the look of them, but I know a lot of people are huge fans of that. It's one of the things that sets the Seamaster apart from all the other watches out there. So you might love it, and it's something that I hope they'll change one day. But I'll probably end up buying one of these anyway, even if they don't change it, because it's not that big of an issue for me. One of the things that people ask about a lot is this extra crown up here. This is for the helium escape valve. And so you'll probably never use it. Please don't use it. Don't unscrew it. If you're a saturation diver going down in a diving bell for a week at a time and breathing mixed, you'll know who you are and you'll use that. But everybody else, just don't even worry about it. It's part of the aesthetic of the watch. It does have a date display at 6 o'clock, which is a nice addition. And then it notes at the bottom of the dial that this is a certified master chronometer. So not only has it been to the COSC for certified chronometer testing, but a much more rigorous testing that's done by Metas. And these have passed once they're cased up. So it's a different sort of certification from the COSC, much more rigorous, much higher level. As far as I know, the only watch out there that stands up to that. When we look at the case back, again, you have the scalloped theme, very nice exhibition case back, so you can see the movement. It's the Omega movement that is, it has a silicone balance spring, so it's resistant to 15,000 Gauss, and it's got a 60-hour power reserve, very reliable movement, great decoration. They call it Côte de Genève in arabesque, which is means that it's a little bit curved, and it's really nice looking, fantastic movement. Now the strap that we're showing them on here is the Omega rubber strap, which is really well made, and it's a little bit vented underneath so that you get a little airflow under there and it doesn't feel stuck to your skin. They're not expensive to replace, so don't worry about that. You can get the same watch on the steel bracelet, and then you can have the ability to switch it back and forth, which is nice. So this is the standard black that we've had for some time. And then, of course, we also had the blue, which is a lot more casual, a little more of a fun, playful color. If you were only going to have one watch for the rest of your life and it was one of these, I would go with the black one because it'll go with anything. The blue, this might be your second or third or fourth nice watch. And you've got something that you wear in a much more casual setting, or that you like the blue color, the way it jumps out. This one has the silver dial with the laser cut waves, with blue in the waves. So it's a really good look. But the star of the show for today, the reason we're doing this video is that for 2022, Omega launched for the first time. People had been clamoring for green watches. Green seems to be the flavor of the hour. And when you look at this in the video, it might even look black. It is hard to pick up that it's green. It's not a bright green like the Rolex ceramic Kermit or the previous Kermit or the Hulk, that is a much lighter green and much more obviously green. This one, like I said, Penny and I were discussing what we should call it. It is such a dark green that in a lot of low light it's going to look black. But the strap is actually green, the bezel is green, and the dial is green. And when you catch that flash of reflection from the light, you'll see it. I think that it's subtle enough that you'll get a lot more wear out of it actually than some of those offerings from Rolex. But if you already have one of the green Rolex watches, this would still be a welcome addition to your collection because it's just such a different look than the Rolex green is. I think that for most people, they can get the green one and use it the same ways they would use the black one because it's really not going to clash with whatever else you're wearing because it does look so dark. But it's going to have that nice flash of green. If you had like a gray jacket like I've got on today, it would just be perfectly at home. So let us know what you think and give us a call. If you search on our website at Omega 300M Diver, you'll see all the selections that we currently have. We've got a huge inventory at SwissWatchExpo.com, and the watches are in stock and ready to ship today.